Imagine a parent who catches their teenager doing something truly destructive. The parent is furious. They ground the kid, take away privileges, maybe even say, I can't even look at you right now. But that parent would never disown their child. The anger is real. The punishment is real. But so is the love underneath it. This exact tension is the engine driving some of the most powerful literature in the Hebrew Bible. That parent-child tension, it's not just an analogy, it's in the text, and it's powered by a specific theological structure. Here's the puzzle. The Hebrew prophets seem to contradict themselves. One passage, total destruction, no mercy. The next passage, glowing promises of restoration and love. Readers have felt this whiplash for centuries. Is it incoherent, or is there a deeper logic? The deeper logic comes from two distinct covenant traditions operating at the same time. First, the Sinaitic covenant, the agreement made at Mount Sinai. This is a conditional bilateral treaty. God and Israel both have obligations. If Israel obeys the Torah, blessings follow. If Israel disobeys, curses follow. Destruction, exile, catastrophe. Think of it as a contract with enforceable penalties. Second, the Abrahamic and the Davidic covenants. These are unconditional. God swears by himself. To Abraham, land, descendants, blessing, no conditions attached. To David, an eternal dynasty. These are unilateral promises. God binds himself regardless of what Israel does. The Sinaitic covenant says Israel must be punished for violations. The Abrahamic and Davidic covenants say God can never permanently abandon Israel. Both are active, both are authoritative, and they pull in opposite directions. This is the key insight. The prophets don't choose one covenant over the other. They hold both at once. Israel has violated the Sinaitic terms. Punishment must come. The Abrahamic and the Davidic promises cannot be revoked. Total abandonment is impossible. This isn't confusion, it isn't sloppy editing, it's creative theological tension, and it generates the distinctive prophetic voice, fierce judgment, and a tender hope woven together because the theology demands both. Now let's see how this plays out in one of the most powerful passages in the Hebrew Bible, Hosea chapter 11. God speaks as a parent remembering raising a child, Israel, called here by its tribal name Ephraim. The passage opens with tenderness. I fell in love with Israel when he was still a child. God recalls nurturing care. I pampered Ephraim, taking them in my arms, but the child turned away, ignored God's healing, chased other gods, and God's anger builds. The text moves toward destruction, the same fate as the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. You can feel the momentum of wrath, and then the pivot. Verse 8, God's voice breaks. How can I give you up, O Ephraim? How can I hand you over, O Israel? My heart recoils within me. My compassion grows warm and tender. Then verse 9 delivers the theological foundation. I am God, not man. And this is not a detached judge weighing evidence. This is a torn parent. And the resolution comes not from anything Israel has done. Israel remains guilty, but from God's own nature. A human parent might reach a breaking point. God cannot. The unconditional covenant holds because it rests on who God is, not on who Israel is. Love wins, not because Israel deserves it, but because permanent abandonment would contradict God's own character. The Abrahamic promise survives Israel's Sinaitic failure. Here's the next layer. The prophets aren't delivering a one-size-fits-all message. They calibrate, they read the room. When the audience is comfortable and complacent, prosperous, ignoring injustice, assuming God will protect them no matter what, the prophet hammers the Sinaitic violations. Doom, wake up. Amos preaches to a wealthy, self-satisfied Israel before the exile. His message is almost entirely judgment. But when the audience is suffering and despairing, sitting in exile, wondering if God has abandoned them forever, the prophet emphasizes unconditional love, hope. hold on. Second Isaiah preaches to broken exiles. His message is almost entirely consolation. This is a sophisticated pastoral strategy, not mood swings. Election, God's choice of Israel, is understood as unmerited love. Israel didn't earn it. Israel can't unearn it. By election doesn't mean freedom from consequences. The prophets know their audience and they know what their audience needs to hear. Comfort the afflicted, afflict the comfortable. Same theology, different emphasis. One more crucial move. The prophets reinterpret national catastrophe, exile, destruction, as chastisement, not revocation. Chastisement means temporary discipline intended to correct. Revocation would mean permanent rejection. The covenant is over. The promises are void. The prophets never go there. Punishment is a chapter, not the ending. The promises aren't false. They just haven't been fulfilled yet. The prophets push fulfillment beyond the present sinful generation to a future purified remnant. Isaiah is the paradigm. Present suffering is real and deserved, but a glorious future awaits beyond the punishment. So here's the pattern you can now recognize in any prophetic book. Step 1. Accusation. The prophet identifies Sinaitic violations. Step 2. Punishment. The Sinaitic curses are enacted, exile, destruction. Step 3. Restoration. The unconditional covenant is reasserted. God's promises endure, accusation, punishment, restoration. That's the prophetic architecture. Next time you read a prophetic book and feel whiplash between doom and hope, look for which covenant tradition the prophet is drawing on. Ask who the audience is, and notice, punishment is never the last word. It's always a chapter, never the ending. For I am God, not man.